Okay, welcome to the webinar. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get more leads in the next 30 days than your past 6 months combined. And it doesn't matter which business you are in, you can be in the financial business, the health business, the training business, the coaching business, you could be selling things. And as long as you deal directly with the end consumer, this webinar will be the most powerful lead generation presentation that you have ever seen. And I'm going to introduce to you a few concepts that has helped me to get thousands and thousands of leads throughout my entire sales career, and I know that it will be of great value to you. Now, the first thing I want to say is no matter what business you are in currently, as long as you're in business, this is what you are thinking of every single day. How can you get more leads? How can you turn them into sales? And how can you get more profits from the sales? And in this particular presentation, we will focus on the leads portion. How can you get an endless amount of leads, pre-qualified leads, that are more than ready to whip up your wallet and give you cash in return of your service? And just a bit more about myself. I'm Samuel, and I've been in different businesses since I was 19 years old. And you may be thinking, how does a 19-year-old person actually do all these different businesses? And that is when I realized that I had this skill for lead generation that allowed me to sell to people whom I don't know. 95% of my customers across all these different industries that I've been in for the past 5 years are people that I do not know. They have no other reason to buy anything from me except for the fact that they want what I have to offer. And that is something that I've always been very, very focused on. How can I sell someone something they need, even if they don't know me at all? And how can I instantly build credibility and relevance? And as I move along, as I was doing all these different businesses, I slowly started to realize that I had a special knack for lead generation. And it was just something that I stumbled upon, because at first I didn't really think a lot about it, but after a while I had a lot of people coming up to me and asking me how I actually generated all these different leads and how could I always manage to get so many leads in whatever business I actually go to. And that is why I've decided to put all my knowledge into this very, very short and sweet webinar that you're about to watch. And I'll be simplifying the exact steps on how you can get more leads in the next 30 days than you did for the past 6 months combined without having to rely on your warm market, referral, or even doing cold calling. And this exact system that I've used for so many years will work for you even if you are new in your industry, even if you don't consider yourself to be the best, or even if you don't consider yourself to be the cheapest, even if you don't have a nice website, in fact, you don't need one, and even if you don't want to overly expose your identity. I know there are in certain industries whereby you may be a bit more cautious. You want to show your face openly on the internet, and that is fine as well. It will still work for you. And this will work even if you have dabbled with content marketing, blogging, and a whole bunch of other non-result producing marketing gimmicks that just didn't work. And this will work for you as long as you have an ethical offer, as long as you believe in your product and you know that there are people out there who need what you have. And I believe that is true for every single one of you. So without further ado, let me jump right into the 3 secrets of massive lead generation. And these are the 3 secrets. Secret number 1, relying on your warm market, referrals, and cold calling is not a sustainable mode of doing business. Secret number 2, you do not need years of experience, tons of testimonials, or be the best in your industry to get tons of leads. And secret number 3, it is much easier to attract leads than to chase after them. Now I'll go into each of these secrets, and I will show you some real life examples of what I've experienced and why this has been so true for me. Now, secret number 1. If you're in sales, you would know that in many sales organizations, these are the traditional methods we use to prospect. And I'm not saying that these methods are wrong. In fact, there's a time and place for this. But what I'm suggesting is just think about it. If you really want to scale your business, just think about it. How did you feel the last time somebody cold called you? What was the feeling like? What was the feeling like to be cold called? Or what was the feeling like to cold call someone? Do you really believe that scaling your business 2 times, 3 times, 10 times to what it is currently, is it really through cold calling? Would that really get you to your goal? The answer is it will not. And here's the reason why, and this is what I've discovered. The minute you cold call, you lose all your positioning. Your clients see you as somebody who is begging for the sale. Your client sees you as somebody who needs it more than they need it. And the entire relationship has just started on a wrong note. Not only do they not treasure your service, they view it as them doing you a favor, as compared to you doing them a favor by providing the service to them. And some of you may say it's about a law of large numbers, but one thing I've realized is that it is not just about working harder. You can work smarter. Look at the top performer in your industry right now. The top performer in your industry right now. Whatever space you're in, a top performer, he or she could be making 10 times more money than you, 100 times more money than you. Do you really believe that it is just the law of large numbers? Do you really believe that they just worked 10 times harder than you? They worked 100 times harder than you? That's not the case, and you know it. You know that that's not the case. They are not working 100 times harder than you. In fact, you may be working harder than them. You may even be better than them. But why is it that they have so many leads coming in every single day, while you have to prospect manually, only to get a 1 to 2 skeptical, half-assed, low-balling leads? That is something that I really don't understand, and from a very early age, I've resolved that I wanted to solve this lead generation problem once and for all. And some of you may be thinking, oh well, but I can depend on my warm market, I can depend on my referral. But again, these are methods that are possible to use. But what I'm trying to suggest is this. These methods, the problem with these methods is that it is not 100% predictable. When you talk about your warm market or your referral, I don't want to say that it is a better word for hope marketing, but basically these are methods that is contingent on so many different things, and not everybody has the same amount of connections to actually leverage on. So what I'm suggesting is, if you have limited resource when it comes to referrals and warm market, then you need to learn how to develop an external source of lead generation that is beyond your circle of influence, that is beyond just you. It must be a system that you can depend on, and it must be predictable down to the dollar a day. And this is the last one, right? How many of you have attended networking events just to prospect? And how was your experience like? The problem with most networking events is that everybody there is for the same reason, to network, to sell people something. And that's a massive problem. And that's why they never worked as effectively as they used to be. Because over time, it becomes like a red ocean strategy. Everybody there is trying to sell something. And the minute you hear someone trying to provide you an offering, what do? You immediately turn off. You're just not interested, and you just move away. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but what I'm saying is that if you want a predictable workflow, or more like a predictable lead flow, here's how you do a simple test, mental test. If you have a predictable lead flow, that means you are able to buy leads with your money. Networking events, cold calling, active prospecting, referrals. In these different prospecting methods that I've just mentioned, can you buy leads with money? You can't. All you can do is hope that people will refer you, hope that people will buy from you. All you do is hope that you will meet someone right. Or you can just go by a law of large numbers. After you hit enough numbers, you will meet someone out of coincidence. But what I'm talking about is not all that. What I'm talking about is a precise lead generation strategy that will allow you to put $1 in and get $3 out, regardless of any kind of condition, regardless of whether people like you or not, regardless of how the market is doing, regardless of anything else. It must be that predictable. And that's what I'm talking about. A lead generation strategy that is that consistent, that can bring in leads that consistently, that you can precisely measure. If I put in $1, I get back $3. And therefore, I can put in an endless amount of money so long as this remains profitable for my business. So that's secret number one. And secret number two is this. This is the one that always gets me. You do not need years of experience, tons of testimonials to be the best, or be the best in your industry to get tons of leads. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't know your stuff. Most of you, if you're watching this, if you're thinking of how to get more leads, I know that you already know your stuff. You already know what you are doing, and you already are good at what you're doing. But what I'm trying to say is this. Don't solve a marketing problem with knowledge. If you don't have enough marketing, if you don't have enough leads coming in, that is a problem with marketing and with selling. It has nothing to do with knowledge. Would you believe me that right now, as I'm speaking, there is someone in your space who is less knowledgeable than you that is killing it? Because this person has either got a marketing team behind him, or this guy knows how to do marketing. And let me prove it to you with a very mainstream example. This is the iPhone. Is this the best phone? Have you ever asked yourself, technical specifications wise, is this the best phone on the market? A typical iPhone is 30% more expensive than any other phones you can find. But this is not the best phone. In fact, nobody cares. Because the idea is, if you don't know how to market yourself, you'll be kept as the world's best kept secret. And it doesn't matter how good you are. If you cannot market yourself, and that's why so many people think that Steve Jobs is a great engineer. He is not. He's a great salesperson. He's a great closer. He's a great lead generator. He's a great seller. He knows how to market his vision to people. He gets people to buy in to the idea of consumer experience, to the idea of holding a device that can express your slickness, to the idea of buying something that you can look at it beyond just being a laptop, beyond just an iPad, beyond just a phone. It is a lifestyle. It is an Apple culture that you are embracing. That is the ability of marketing. So if you don't know how to market yourself, it doesn't matter how much you know. You can be the best doctor in town. You can be the best personal trainer, and nobody will ever know. And someone out there who is less knowledgeable than you, has less testimonials than you, is less credible than you, they can easily whoop your ass if they know how to market better than you. And that's just how it works. And the last one, secret number 3. It is easier to attract leads than to chase after them. Now, for many of you who have been used to chasing leads, you may feel that this is a little bit contradictory. How come it's easier to attract leads than to chase after them? I thought as a salesperson, I always have to be on the go. I always have to bow down to my customers. I always have to be the one that is proactively chasing them. But the truth is this: people don't like to be sold to. They like to buy. And this is something that you probably already know. People don't like to be sold to. Let me prove it to you with an example. If you imagine you walk into a shop and you really want to buy something, and then when a sales assistant comes along, the first thing he or she will say is, "Hey sir, how can I help you?" And the moment he or she says this, what happens? What is going on in your mind? What do you reply? Oh, you just say something like, "Oh, no, I'm just looking around." And you say that when you are about to buy something, you still say that you're just looking around. Because what happens is when you do that traditional approach, it creates a psychological response in a person, and it would piss off even the most ready buyer. And it's not about being, it's not about people responding that way. It's more subconscious, right? Meaning, even if I want to buy a car, I walk into a showroom, but when the car salesperson just comes up to me enthusiastically and say, "Hey sir, how can I help?" my usual response is, "Hey, I'm just looking around." Although I already know what color of car I want to buy, but I just say I want to look around. So the moral of the story is that you cannot just depend on prospecting and cold calling. You need to master the art at the highest level of attracting clients. How do you attract them? How do you make them come to you? How do you create a setup where they come to you instead of you going to them? And when that happens, when you attract and not beg, not prospect, not cold call, when you attract, you become the authority. And only when you're the authority will they listen to you, will they give you their 100% attention, and then that is when you can truly help them. Because if you don't sell them, there is no way you can help them. So remember, people don't like to be sold to, they like to buy. And in a very quick while, I'll be showing you some actual campaigns that we have run using the methodology that I've just mentioned. But I just want to pause here for a bit and just really give you some of my thoughts on why I really like this art of lead generation so much. Because I truly believe that so many people out there, I've seen so many examples of people who are good at what they do. They are world class at what they do. But because they are world class at what they do, they think that having this knowledge, having this expertise can make up for their lack of marketing knowledge and lack of marketing expertise. The answer is it cannot. No matter how good you are at what you do, the average consumer will not know. You need to learn how to market. You need to learn how to get attention. You need to learn how to sell them, how to close them, how to use words to influence, and how to get them to pay you before they become your customers and before you can fully focus your mind on helping them. And now I'm going to show you some actual campaigns that we've run. So this is one of the pages that we've run. It's called NSS50X. So this is a financial advisory platform for army boys and young adults. And as you can see, we started from scratch. Today we have reviews, we have testimonials, we have our own designs, we have our entire group, an entire community that's built around it. And let me show you some of the back-end results that we've gotten from this one campaign. These are the results. This is one of the ads I ran in the very early stages, and as you can see, I got over 1.6k messaging replies. What that means is, and this is from the chatbot function on Facebook, right? So 1.6k messaging replies, and it was 1.3k spend. So the per cost per lead, it costs us 80 cents. And on this one campaign, we converted about, I would say, about 40 to 50K worth of sales on first encounter. And the other campaign, 780 messaging reply, 30 cents per lead. And these are just some of the examples. For some of you who don't really understand what's going on, this is a bit more technical, but what I wanted to show you is the insights of what we've been doing and how it is working right now as we're speaking. And the whole idea is this. These are tools that are already working. Facebook ads right now is the lowest, the most undervalued form of attention. If you don't use it, your competitors will. If you don't use it now, 5 years later, you'll be looking back and you'll be slapping yourself on the head and asking yourself, why didn't I make use of it while it's still so affordable? And these are some of the other campaigns I run. So as you can see on the extreme left is my own page, Samuel. And this is one of the recruitment campaigns I've run, Student Entrepreneur SG. There's one of the page we own as well. And as you can see, all the different results of the amount of leads that we've gotten. And all these are just from one campaign, all right? So if we do about 10 campaigns per page. So if you just multiply the numbers, you can actually count it for yourself. And these are just some of the examples of the campaigns that we've run before. Again, my goal is not to show you so much of the technical aspect of things, because I don't want you to start going away feeling that this is very technical. This is not technical. Social media marketing and lead generation on social media is, and write this down, it is 10% technology, 90% psychology. It is not about being technical. It is not about being a technical nerd. It is about being able to understand our customers' pain point and being able to communicate that paying point of your customers to them. Meaning, why are your customers paying you? I call it a CPP, core paying point. If you can understand that, you can have people pay you money to solve their problem, which is to get your goods, products, or services. And in case you're thinking, oh, well, it's just about getting a leads, it is actually not. It is not that simple. What differentiates me from many of the other gurus out there is that I know for a fact it's not just about getting a leads. I'll give you a lead. In fact, getting a lead is the easy part, but the conversion part is the hard part. How do you convert? How do you meet a lead? What do you say? How do you set up the whole environment so that you become the absolute authority and they never ever question you? Here's how. Number one, you can pre-sell them before meeting. The reason why we close so many deals on the first encounter is because the first time we meet with the lead, they are already pre-sold. We have already properly qualified them. And that is why we are able to close on the first encounter and we collect payment upfront on the first encounter. And I'll teach you how you can counter the different objections that is very common in the cold market, because remember, these are people that don't know you and they will have all forms of objections. You need to know how to counter them very, very smoothly and convert them back into paying customers on the first encounter. And how do you ask for the money upfront without beating around the bush? How many have experienced this? You went through a sales appointment, you did all your rapport building, and you don't dare to ask for the money. When it comes to the money, you are like, yeah, this is going to cost 2,000. You can't even pronounce it. You can't even articulate it. And that is a problem. If you have no confidence to ask for the money, you will not get the money. You need to have supreme confidence in asking for the money. And there's an art and there's a science to do that. And how you can actually charge premium prices and still have clients, still have leads lining up to work with you. And by the way, competitive pricing is not a good strategy. Just because your competitors are pricing that amount does not mean you should do that. If you do that, it just means that you don't have enough conviction in your own product. My prices are premium because I know that what I'm giving, the value I'm giving, it surpasses all my competitors. And that's why I truly believe that in my own area of niche, the value I'm providing, the transformation I'm providing, it surpasses every single one of my competitors. And that's why I don't even look at that price. I price it based on my own value. And that is what you want to be doing. And to build this system, to build this leads machine on social media, it's not about having a blog. It's not about having a website. It's not about having a huge following. It's not about having testimonials. You don't need any of this. I would say this helps to a small extent, but even if you have none of this, it does not matter. Because the leads machine I'm talking about is a direct to monetization approach. How do you get leads and convert them directly? How do you get piping hot leads who are ready to buy from you and convert them directly? A no bullshit approach to sales and marketing. How do you get down to the core paying point of your customer and get them to proceed with the transaction without going through a whole bunch of other things that is just slow and it just doesn't make sense to spend so much time when you know you are the person to help them. And I focus a lot on results-based consulting. And of course, this is suitable for you to start grow and scale your business. Whatever level you are at right now, I can take you to the next level. And for some of you, you may have seen my video on my social media page. And I just want to clarify on this point because this is the biggest objection so far that I've faced. I wouldn't say objection, but the biggest consideration. Many people, when they hear the way I talk, they'll be like, "Oh, Sam, you're a bit too I think you're a bit too aggressive. I think you're a bit too pushy. I think you're not very nice. The way you talk is a bit fierce." But what I want you to know is this: if you think that being nice to your prospect is part of your sales process, what I want to say is being nice is not really being nice. What do I mean by that? You may think that it's nice of you to give your prospect more time. You may think it's nice of you to send them more information while they say they will think about it and you know they will never come back. You may think it's nice for you to not to insist on that close on the first appointment. You may think it's nice. But let me ask you, how many times when your prospect say they want to think about it or they want to ask somebody, they want to get more information, how many times do they follow through? Ask yourself, as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, how many times do they follow through? You know it. When they go back, when they step out of that door, you are never going to see them again. Most of the time. And you will not be able to change their life. If you don't sell them, you cannot change their life. You will be naive to think that within 30 minutes of interaction, you can convince them to make a change. It will not happen. You need to do, and all you can do is convince them to buy your product. And after that, you can inspire the transformation that you deliver. Because the truth is, if you don't sell them, you cannot help them. And that is something that I want you to drill into your mind right now if you're in business. If you cannot sell them, you cannot help them. There's no point in being nice. You are not being nice. You are being irresponsible because you have not made it your moral obligation to sell them. You don't believe enough in your product, in your offering to sell them. If you knew that you have the cure for cancer, and if you knew that there's a cancer patient in front of you right now, will you have any hesitation to sell them the product? No. You will make sure that you will do whatever it takes to make sure that that patient buys your cure. And you are right, not everybody will buy it. Even if you have the actual cure, not every patient wants it, and that is okay. But what I'm saying is, as a salesperson, as someone who wants to get a message out there, you need to have the conviction to know that if you can't sell them, you can't help them. And if what you would like to do is to get more leads in the next 30 days than your past 6 months combined, then you are in the right place. I can help you to do that. Precisely just that. And that is what I do. But again, this is not for everyone. This is for the business owner, entrepreneur, coach, consultant, service provider who solves a real need in the market and you have a legitimate and ethical offering. You are coachable, and more importantly, you must be willing to invest time and money into a proven system. And once you have these 4 different factors, I know that I can get you to the next level. So if that is you, I want to invite you to book your breakthrough call with me. And on this call, and I only take in 3 calls per month, I will scrutinize your application and only take you in if you qualify the various criteria. And on this call, I help you to build your leads machine for free. And number 1, there are 5 steps to this. There are 5 things that we'll do in this call. Number 1, we'll develop a can't be refused offer for you. Value is 947. I'll develop an advanced leads targeting system for you. Value is 497. And I'll teach you how you can use authority to close on the first encounter. The value is 1297. And of course, a proceed or retreat technique to filter out non-buyers. Let's face it, there are too many time wasters around. Just think about your business right now. How many times do you spend precious time talking to time wasters, talking to people who will never buy, and you know it. But you just talk to them, oh, maybe someday they will refer someone. But deep down, you know they will never refer anybody to you and they will never buy a product. But you still waste time with them. So I'll teach you how you can use the proceed or retreat technique to filter out these non-buyers. And more importantly, over the call, you'll get to pick my brain for free. And the total value, it's 4997. But if you're on this webinar right now, and I've paid good money to learn all these different things and all these different strategies, and if you're a follower, you will have seen my video on why I spend 5 figures of my own money attending seminars and how I explain the acquisition of this different knowledge. And what I want to do is, if you're on this call, for the first 5 of you, I want to give it to you for free. You can book your free call with me. I'll go through the 5 exact things with you. And on the spot, we will build your leads generating machine. So for those of you who are on this call, only your first 5, I can see that some of you are already booking a call already. For the first 5, again, Doesn't mean you book it, you will get it. I will still look at your application, and only if you qualify, I will put you through the call, and we'll have a chat on the call, right? And you may be asking, if it's so good, why would you give it for free? Well, I mean, I can be very honest with you. These are my reasons. Number one, by teaching, it reinforces my own knowledge and belief. And of course, what my mentor always told me was that once you have achieved a certain level of success, always remember to give back. That is the best thing you can do for people and for yourself. And of course, if me by being given back, I can make a new friend, that is the best thing ever, right? And of course, I will also provide you an opportunity to work with me only if you have a good offer and only if I think you're the right person that I can coach. And of course, I'm always on the lookout for good ideas to add on to my business model and potentially do a joint venture if that actually comes along. I'm always open to that. And that is the reason why I'm doing this free call, only 3 calls per month. Sorry, only 5 calls per month. And if that is you, you can go and book a call right now, and I look forward to speaking with you. I'm going to leave this up for about 30 more seconds, and then I will be switching the webinar off.